Hi, it's Chelsea. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are kind of backtracking a little bit. So if anything, I would call my van build a little disorganized. I think that's just my personality in general, but I'm just going and I'm researching and then I guess I've done a few things out of order, but I pre-wired my van. I just finished that yesterday actually. And I thought the next thing was to run my electrical, but then when I started watching videos on how to get started on that, everybody already has their walls up. So backtrack that up a little bit and say, okay, I need to do my walls first. And the more videos I've watched, the more I'm seeing framing that's better than what I did. So what I did was furring strips, and basically you use what's called a cross nut. It's a really cool concept, but the people that I researched it from and learned it from, they said that all the Ram Promasters had pre-fabricated holes from the factory and that these cross nuts would fit perfectly. Well, I got in here and got the cross nuts and clamper, and none of these holes are the same. There's like bigger holes, there's rectangle holes, there's hexagons, there's ovals, and some, I would say maybe 2 of my furring strips are very firm, but most of them wobble. And I thought, well, maybe when I put the wall on, it will secure it. But the more I think about it, the furring strip in the wall will be secure, but it's always gonna be loose against the metal. So last night I did some research and found a guy that is actually doing a Ram Promaster, and I'm just gonna follow him. So today, to start out, I'm going to disassemble all the furring strips I did. I didn't spend any money on the wood because my mom and stepdad had some from when they rebuilt the house, so that's cool, but it does suck because the cross nuts and the, I don't know, the tool I use for it were expensive. So that hurts my soul a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, if I can get a real solid framing for my walls, it'll make me feel better, so we're just gonna do it. After I take them off, I'm going to cut up some new wood to frame, put that in, and frame my whole van out correctly with a solid foundation. So that's the plan for today. We'll see how it goes. So here's what I'm talking about with my furring strips. Ideally, we would have just nailed our walls just into these, so we didn't actually have to poke holes in this. And this is what one of those looks like. But if you see it, like, it wiggles, and that's like, this is as tight as it is. I put that bolt as tight as it would, but the issue is this isn't tight against the metal. So that's what I'm doing, taking all of these out. Well, got all my furring strips off. I am just gonna leave these cross nuts in because I quite honestly literally don't know how to get them out. But we're just gonna do our new boards, our new framing over it, so it's not that big of a deal. They all came out pretty easy except for the one bottom board. I ended up having to get pliers and holding the cross nut because every time I screwed it, the cross nut turned, so it was just like making no progress. But okay, now that's done, we are going to cut the wood for my new frame. Portions, I'm gonna cut this. It's a 2x6. My Lowe's only had 12 foot, not 8 foot. So this is a long, very long daddy. But I'm just gonna use my saw and cut the measurements, mark them with my Sharpie where they go in the van. Now that we have our top pieces cut out, measured and cut and marked, I'm gonna work on this 1/2-inch plywood. I need it 4 foot. These are gonna go across the bars on the top and my horizontal bars. So now that we have our studs, if you will, cut, they're gonna go on all of my ceiling crosses and the top sides right here. This bottom side, the two bottoms in the back, I'm gonna do a 2x4 or 2x6 because that's gonna be where our bed lays. So it's gonna need some more oomph, if you will. I am going to, between my wood and the metal, I'm gonna use this Loctite construction adhesive just to give it a little extra hold. And then I got 1 7/16 inch self-drilling, self-tapping screws. Since I worked on the van. Sunday after I did all that work, my arms were so sore. And then I had a sick day, and then it rained all day yesterday. I am back at it today. But today I need to go on the top, around the top of the ceiling and put in the 2x6s, and then I need to figure out how to get those weird hook things that are there from the factory off and put in my 2x6s for my bed. Well, that was a short-lived attempt, but the guy at the store gave me 1/4 inch screws, and this driver is too small, I think. Yeah, so this is too small for this, so when I go to spin it, the nail's doing all sorts of wobbly stuff. Went to McCoy's, made a new friend, Rick. He walked me all around the store. He helped me find the bit that worked. We're gonna try again. I just had a little diva moment because I can't get this damn piece of wood in here. And I'm trying to get it through this little spot, and then it went here, and then it went here into nothing. So I got pissed off and threw everything on the floor. I will not be defeated by this though. I have figured it out. I mark the lines where there's metal, and then I mark where I actually want to put the screws in. Then I'm getting a screw and this glove. I'm doing this so when I put the board up I could screw, but this wood is so dense that I'm having to put all my weight behind it, and I'm just not into it. So out here I'm screwing it in as close to all the way through the wood as possible, and then when I put it up against the metal, I just have to I can really put my weight in without having to worry about the screw wobbling. Those 2x6s kicked my ass. All right, we are back with the 3rd day of framing. In my most beautiful mind, I thought I was gonna do it all in one afternoon, and that is comical at this point. I am hung up at this point because these hooks are factory and they need a special bit. It's called a star bit. Fun fact, I had to go to an auto parts store to get it. I'm going to take these hooks off, and I'm gonna put 2x6s here for the bed, and I am gonna put the long 1/2 inch there, and then I'll just need to cut my studs and do pocket holes for them. So I posted a short on YouTube about how much I was struggling drilling in the 2x6s, and a couple of people commented and said I needed to be using an impact driller because a regular drill is made for drilling holes, but an impact driller, Winston, is used for screwing things. Hopefully this is so much easier because Mama's shoulders are struggling. Holy effing guacamole. This thing is intense. And it's honestly such a game changer. Oh my God. It was spinning so fast that there was smoke. For my ceiling boards, we need something here to anchor them. So what I'm doing is my beveled tongue and groove are just 1/2 inch, and this is 1/2 inch. So I'm taking it, putting it up against my frame right here and putting it back. And then I've just marked where it would hit the back of it. So I'm probably going to take another 1x4 and cut it into 3-inch wire. And then my tongue and groove will come and sit on top of it. Now that I have all of my long studs in, I'm gonna come back and put in my vertical studs. So from the 2x6s to the 1/2 inch at the top where I'm gonna have my cabinets and stuff, they're all almost perfectly 8 inches, which is really convenient. So I have all these 1/2 inch strips that I pre-cut, and now I'm gonna come back and cut them into 8-inch strips. I'm going to come in and make pocket holes in all of these little studs that I made. I bought this Craig pocket hole jig, and I kind of started already assembling it, but basically it comes with this screw bit and this stopper. And on the bit it has 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1/2, to where when I go into the jig it stops at 1/2 inch. To my drill. Back here there is a little sliding piece that again is going to be set to 1/2 inch, so that's my stopper. You put it on the end that you are drilling the holes into. I bought the screws that come for this setup, Craig screws, 1.25 inch, and the package comes with this bit also because these screw square holes. I don't know if you can see that, but they're square, so it comes with its own square bit. And then clamp yourself to the table. Clamp it there. We'll see if this works.
Much later.